Welcome back to the Shine and Thrive Photography Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Monica, and this is an extra special bonus episode I've put together for you while the doors are open to outsourcing made easy. And what I love about OME is that you can learn at your own pace and have lifetime access to the program, but you will also be a part of a community of other photographers learning how to outsource alongside you so that you feel well supported along the way. And the community is filled with photographers that are just starting out and that are even alumni of the Outsourcing Made Easy course. So everybody is all bunched together because there's always so much to learn about outsourcing along every outsourcing journey. And group coaching is another element that is so key to stepping out of your comfort zone and growing to a new level in your life and business because it helps uncover the blind spots you have of why things aren't working for you. And this is included when you sign up for OME. And I wanted to give you a peek inside of what an actual coaching call looks like with me for those that get on the hot seat with me during the group call. And just FYI, I'm not able to coach every single person one-on-one during every single call. But I always get feedback that when others listen in on the coaching, it helps them think and feel differently and also uncover their own blind spots. And this might be exactly what you experience when listening in on this call today. Before I play it for you, I just want to give a huge shout out to Jessica Douglas, who is my OMI student, who is in the hot seat of this call, and who was brave enough to allow me to air this as a podcast episode so that it helps other photographers see what could be holding them back and to help them see what's possible for them. So enjoy listening in. It's funny how we can, be so disconnected from the actual season in off season and we're like, yeah, we can handle it all. We lie to ourselves, right? And I feel like I'm like right on the dot. Like I'm happy that I have not booked more than I have. But yeah, it's really important that you guys are here because that means you're not lying to yourself. You know that you want to like continue to take action on your outsourcing journey and you need that. So okay, so I'm excited to dive in today. Let me just check out my agenda here. So just like I did last time, I did do a one-on-one little coaching session because I do believe you can go in much deeper and everybody can learn a lot from that. And I think, was it Tia? Tia, you had that last time. That was so funny. So whoever wants to be coached one-on-one today, I'm going to do the same thing as last time. I'm going to reward those that are paying attention. And I'm going to at some point say go. And when I say go, whoever comments first in the chat saying me, that's who I'm going to coach. And I'm going to go in deeper with you and everybody can learn. And so pay attention to that. Okay, everybody. And to start off today's call, I do want to remind you guys that, I mean, it's easy to look. I know when I look up to like my mentors, those who I look up to, I'm just like, oh, they just have it all figured out. Like it's easy for them, or it seems like they always have had it that way, right? And it's like so not true. I want to remind you guys that I started at the same point where you guys are, or because you are all in different points on this outsourcing journey, or I have been where you are, right? So it's either you're starting out, you're kind of like halfway into outsourcing everything you want to outsource, like I have been where you are. And I didn't have it all figured out, and I tripped and stumbled and made mistakes and then learned from them, and it was messy. And so I just want to remind you that that's part of the process, part of the journey. And the only thing that's going to give you clarity in how to get everything sorted in your business and have those workflows in place is action, and not just standing on the sidelines wishing and hoping, right? It's the actual action that will give you clarity. And it's so interesting because I didn't have a step-by-step manual for this. Welcome, Jennifer. I didn't have a step-by-step manual on how to get started. I figured out everything myself. I put all the pieces together. And then this is why I decided to create a step-by-step manual, just to like really expedite this process for other photographers. But I find it so interesting because sometimes I'm finding that some OME students, even in their, if they've been in it for a year or 2 or 3 years in the program, something's still holding them back from taking action. And so I want to challenge you all to really be honest with yourself, right? Because if you do actually have the step by step system given to you, like you can literally go in, watch the videos, take action step by step, it's there. You don't have to figure it out for yourself. So, what is it that's actually holding you back, right? So, that's what we're going to get really conscious to today. And Jennifer, I just want to let you know that I will be doing another one-on-one like coaching hot seat. And whenever I say go, not right now, whenever I say go, when I'm chatting here in this presentation, then whoever says me in the comments first will get that one-on-one coaching. So just wanted to let you know, so you don't miss out on the opportunity. Okay. So the things that are holding you back, right? If it's not not having the step by step system, is your beliefs, right? And do you want to know like the difference between the photographers that successfully outsource and then the photographers that don't? It's pretty much them choosing, like making the choice for their beliefs not to weigh them down. And so I want to outline a metaphor with this. So, for example, if I was like, oh, okay, guys, let's go for a hike, right? Let's go climb a freaking mountain. I'm putting on my backpack, you're putting on your backpack, and then we're walking, and we realize, like, oh, Sarah, what did you bring in your backpack? And I'm like, oh, I just brought a water bottle and maybe a sweater. And then I'm like, oh, what'd you put in your backpack? And you're like, oh, look at all these rocks. And I'm like, oh, well, I love rocks. Like, I don't know if you guys know me, I'm literally a nerd with rocks. But I'm like, but why would you bring all these rocks on your journey? Like, that's going to be so much harder for you. And you're like, nah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Right. So we're walking. And of course, who gets tired first? If we're both wearing the same size backpack, right? And we're both walking the same amount of kilometers, climbing the same steep hills, who's going to get tired faster and sooner and probably even quit, right? And so it's obviously the person with all those rocks. And I want you to think of all those rocks as those beliefs and thought patterns that are holding you back. And what I want to really ask you is, what are you committed to? Are you committed to holding on to those rocks, holding on to that backpack, being stubborn and being like, I can make it, and making it hard for yourself? Or are you committed to letting it be easy? It's possible for it to be easy, right? So are you committed to those old beliefs and those thoughts, or are you committed to letting them go? And I like to think of it as like letting go one rock at a time. So it's like every like 500 meters, take out one rock, let it go. Next step, take another rock, let it go. Because you can't just like take your backpack and spill them all out unless you're like, okay, I'm really committed to for a week, like deep meditation, really, really journaling everything out, getting rid of them, and then just diving into the deep end the following week. Like, it's possible, right? Because anything is possible. But just for you to, I think, feel less overwhelmed with this huge like shift in energy and how you're performing and how you're making new decisions along the way, just letting go one rock at a time. And for example, I actually want to share with you all, because it is literally a never ending journey. So even I think it was like 2 weeks ago. So I had at some point, I think at the end of May, I had 3 weddings in 1 week and a shoot up north, an engagement session up north. And the following week, everything kind of like came together where I had to review all the like quality check some outsourced work. On top of that, I had to do something to do with my podcast. I had to do like an OME support call. I also had a ton of emails to go through. I had to create photo timelines for my clients. Like, everything just kind of like came to the surface at the same time. And I'm like, and then of course I have a 3-month-old baby. And this whole like point of this year with Rory, he's taking pat leave for the whole year, was for me to work part-time hours and him be on pat leave, so I can work part-time hours, and we have so much more family, just all the family time we want together outside of that. And I found myself saying, oh shit, I know I still need to work. I still need to work. And we both kind of finished the week off being like, what happened? Like, Sarah, you needed to like work so much. She's like, don't you have your like outsourcing shit in place? I'm like, I do. I really do. I'm like, I don't know what happened. And I just realized, I'm like, you know what? I probably just hit that next level where I just had some still beliefs that I was holding on to at this new level. So it's kind of like they say new level, new devil. As you grow, the shit that you need to get rid of is like it also you'll have more shit to get rid of, right? So I sat there the following week. I sat down on my desk and I'm like, okay, this is what I used to do when I first started to outsource. I was like, I'm going to be very conscious to every task that I'm about to work on, and I'm going to ask myself, is can I be the only one doing this, or can I train someone to do this? So just like you guys are going through the process now, and you're being very conscious to, should I be doing this or should I be getting someone else to do this? I did that, and I realized that there were so many more little things that I could have got rid of. Like I got rid of a lot of big things, but there are some smaller things that, like, for example, I would still be the one to email my clients to confirm their family and photo list once I had my VA create the cheat sheet for me. And I'm like, wait, why am I doing that? And I literally wrote up an email template. It took me 5 minutes because it's the same email I would send pretty much every time. And then I'm like, hey, Rachel, my virtual assistant, like from now on, this is your responsibility. Please give them this email. And I pretty much gave her, if this happens, then do this. If this happens, then do this. And boom, she was good to go. And yeah, maybe initially it took me 20 to 30 minutes to put this all together, this little process, the system. And instead, it would have taken me 5 minutes to email that client. But because I slowed down to speed up, just like I teach you in OME, now I'm done that and I don't have to keep repeating it throughout the whole season. So I basically found like a bunch of those little annoying things that would just end up taking an extra 45 minutes in a day for me to do. And I was able to free up more of that time. And of course, now it's so interesting because like life really does happen for us. So we did have like that harder week because everything just piled up for me. But then the following weeks, I have like so empty. And I do believe that everything just piled up for me just to show me what I can let go of still, even at this point. Right. So now the following weeks are even more going to be even more easier for me because I was able to let go of more stuff. So yeah, so today I want to help you guys uncover those blind spot, those beliefs that you're holding on to that are holding you back. And there's this beautiful quote, I don't know who said it, but it says, the cause is hidden and the effect is visible to all. So you all know the effect. The effect is being overworked, possibly being underpaid, burnt out, right? But what's the cause, right? Well, let's get to the root of that. So for those of you paying attention, I say go. Jess, amazing. You're so funny. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do a screen share here. 1 second. And we're going to do the exercise. I love how you threw your hands up in the air. Okay. I don't know why it's not showing up. I'm trying to share a very specific window and it's not letting me. So I'm just gonna have to.
I just wanted to share really quick because you helped me last week and while you're getting this set up,
Oh, yes,
it
do
really, really
please do.
helped because this morning I had a sunrise session, so I've been up since 3:30. I'm so tired. I got home and I literally napped for 30 minutes and then I had that call scheduled with the editor for Image Salon, and I know you said you kind of taught not to do that and to record the training videos, but I literally had no time this week. Like, not even like I was editing instead, it's that I wasn't even at my computer. I was shooting that much.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to cancel the call. And I was going to do it. And like, of course, and I'm like, no, Tia, you can do it. I, again, went to my shoot this morning and I was like, I'm just going to cancel the call. Like, I just want to go to bed. And I was like, no, Tia, freaking do the call. You're fine. I slept for 30 minutes, woke up, did the call. Obviously I did the full call. Like, I didn't have time to do the training videos, but I already feel like a weight off my shoulders knowing that I have hope, that like right now my profile is being set up. She said I could submit my first wedding, and like, yeah, it's just like I did it because of everything in the last 2 weeks. Like it really pushed me, and I really am like, nope, I just got to do it. So I think like just everything we talked about last time, it really helped because I was ready to cancel that call.
That's
Just didn't.
incredible. Like, can I? Okay, I love that you just shared this because what do you think it was really that was bubbling up to the surface that made you want to think about canceling the call?
I think I felt unprepared. I felt like, I'm like, well, I haven't covered my bases yet. I'm
Hmm.
exhausted. I'm like, I feel like I haven't slept at all. Like, how can I even possibly try and teach someone something when I don't even know how to be awake right now? And I felt unprepared. So I was
Yeah.
like, I don't even want to do it. But I'm like, what's the worst that could happen?
And that's so interesting because usually when resistance like that pops up, it's usually our ego just trying to keep us safe. And so it's very powerful that you moved through that. And
This is it.
now, how amazing is it that for yourself, you've actually had this lived experience? It's like within you, your body right now, your soul. In the future, when you're like, oh, I'm too tired, I don't know if I want to review this cull or like outsource this, you'll be like, no, but I fucking did that.
I know.
And
I'm
I
like,
was
I haven't
fine on the
slept.
other side.
I've literally
So,
been awake over 8 hours. Like, I'm already so tired. I'm like, but I did it. So,
yeah. And you're
um,
here on this
yeah.
call too,
And I'm here.
which is
I'm
amazing.
going to bed after this.
Yeah. And guess what?
um,
You're like, you'll be able to have even more sleep as you keep letting
exactly.
go of
I
shit. That's
love the sound of
amazing.
that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
just wanted to say like that one-on-one coaching, it really did help. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you're
Yay.
going to help Jessica today.
Yay. Thanks for sharing that. That's so good. Okay. Share screen. Why is it doing that to me?
Progress.
It's not. Okay. You know what? That's okay. I'll just do this. Okay. Can you guys see this? Like, it says June 13th coaching exercise. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I also had to include this quote. Wait, I don't know if I'm going to make this a little bit bigger in case it's not too big for you guys. Okay. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? So I'll let that just sit with you because I think that's perfect for what we're basically talking about. Okay, so Jess, you can unmute yourself. Perfect.
Is it
Hi.
working?
Yeah, it's working. Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
And I'm proud that you're here because I know your baby's napping. So amazing job.
Thank you. I just hope she doesn't wake up like right in the middle, but
That's okay. That's okay. If you have to go, that's okay. We will figure it out because that's what we
okay.
have to do. Babies come first.
Perfect.
Okay, so I want to ask you, Jess,
Yes.
what is your goal in your business? And I pretty much want you to just focus on, I would say, how much do you want to make, like in
Mhm.
revenue? Let's not
Mhm.
do income. Let's just keep it simple. Revenue. So revenue includes taxes and expenses and your income. And how much free time do you want to have? So the way I want you to phrase it is like, my goal in my business is to make X amount of money and
Mhm.
have X amount of free time each week or something like that.
Okay. So like the humorous person in me wants to say like I want to make all the money and have all the free time.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
I
don't
think
limit
like
yourself too. Don't let your logical mind get in the way of that, right?
right.
So
Okay,
just, and don't
so
overthink this because this is
yeah.
just going to be an example. So it's not like
Yeah.
you're saying this goal and you have to stick to it for this year and for the rest of your life. It's not like just
Okay.
kind of whatever feels good and make it adventurous, make it big if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the first number that came to mind was about 150 to 200K.
Hmm.
That would be like my dream.
So then 200K.
Yep.
There you go.
And I love that I have like weddings booked and but I would really like to have, you know, at least Monday to Thursday free to kind of, be with Naomi, be with my family, and hopefully weekend day available. But yeah, because right now it's pretty much a Sunday to a Sunday that I'm constantly working and in front of my computer, and it's
Right.
tough.
So what
So
would you say? Like, would you like to have maybe 3 days off each week, four
oh,
days
that would
off,
be lovely. Yeah, 3 days for
three
sure.
days? Okay. And have 3 full
Yeah,
days off each week. Perfect. Very
yeah.
doable. Okay. And I'm going to unbold this so it doesn't confuse people's eyes. Okay. So now let me ask you, like, what is your current identity with where you are now, with how life looks like for you, how business looks like for you?
Um, I would say that I'm pretty proud of where I am at the moment, but being a goal setter personally, like I know that I haven't met a ton of my goals yet. And, I set the bar for myself pretty high. So I feel like there's a lot of, if I do take any time off, there's a lot of guilt. And I kind of feel like, I could always be doing more, but then that kind of contradicts me wanting 3 full days off. So I'm
Mhm.
kind of in that period right now where it's like, okay, like I feel like I'm grinding really hard, working really hard, but I'm also like I had 9 weddings in May alone and I'm already feeling tired and it's like what, June 13th.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just and I have like taken it upon, like after going through your course, I am with Image Salon. And so I do have them editing my weddings, but it's also like the engagement shoots and the family shoots and all the other shoots that I do that I've put on myself and not Image Salon. So I'm kind of in that hesitant area as well that you were kind of saying at the beginning, like what little things could you be sending off or even culling. So yeah, I feel like my
Mhm.
identity right now is just like all in shambles, but
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have like 5 million different heads and we all want to go in different directions. So
So would you say also like in a way like overwhelmed?
oh yeah, yeah,
Overwhelmed.
very
You say
much
you
so.
have 5 heads.
Yeah.
um and yeah, I'm also trying to think. So give me a couple adjectives of like
Mhm.
pick like 3 adjectives that describe yourself in this season right now where you are in all of this that you just said.
Okay. Well, oh gosh, adjectives. I have to kind of remember what those are again.
Yeah, so
Descriptive
they're like
words.
a descriptive word. So
Yep.
like oh my god,
Okay. So
how do I
you said,
explain an adjective? I'm like the worst at like English.
me too.
So
That's why I was like,
like
what's an adjective?
spontaneous, free
um,
spirited, organized,
okay. Well,
those kind of things.
definitely I'm unorganized, but I like to
Mm-hmm.
think I am organized. I'm a little bit of a procrastinator.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I say 5 heads, I also meant like I'm wearing many hats as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm juggling being a full-time business owner, a mom now, a wife, all of that kind of stuff. And then of course, like as we all know, we're not just photographers either. We're, the HR, we're the editors, the colors, all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would say juggling is also a very good description of how to like free
Okay.
up yeah, all of that. So
Perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now give me some beliefs that you have that pop into your mind about running a photography business, and also outsourcing.
beliefs as in like what I think to be
True.
like true for my business
What do you
or
think
in
to be
general.
true about what it's like to run a photography business and
Okay.
to outsource?
Ooh. Okay, well, since outsourcing, my new belief about outsourcing my weddings is that, oh my God, just a breath of fresh air. I don't have to, you
So
don't have to
actually,
spend.
let's maybe focus on those that you feel like could be holding you back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to be more specific.
Oh gosh, that I constantly have to be booked like Sunday to Sunday to be successful.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Um, that I have to be relevant on Instagram or have a lot of followers to be booked.
Hmm.
Um, what else?
And then if you, for example, even just to give you a prompt,
Hmm.
let's say there's something that comes to mind that you're scared of outsourcing right now. I
Hmm.
want you to think of that thing and think about the thought that comes into your mind when you're like, ooh, but I'm scared to, or I don't want to yet.
For me, I'm like a perfectionist, so letting someone else call my work, which is where I'm stuck at right now, that kind of made me want to join this call today, was seeing if I could see what other people thought. yeah, the calling I would really like to outsource, but because I feel like I have a vision of what I want my entire wedding gallery to look like at the end, it's hard to release that control to someone else because
It's
I just,
hard to release that control.
yeah.
And if something is hard, are you going to want to do it? If something
No.
feels hard. No.
Definitely
Okay.
not. Or at least procrastinate until I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another one. I'll procrastinate until I have to.
Mhm.
That's just very interesting because how does that that just creates, I mean, you all know the feeling of that procrastination creates, right? It always
Mhm.
takes me back to school when I had to do homework that I didn't freaking want to do because I didn't give a shit about the subject, and I would procrastinate until the last
Yeah,
day, and then it felt like this heavy weight the whole time. And then you sit down the night before to do it, and it's done, and then you have this weight lifted off your shoulders, and you're like, "Oh, it only took me an hour, 2 hours. Like I could have just done it this whole time and saved myself the stress, right?"
that's like my constant mental chatter to myself is like, really, Jess?
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Okay. So now let's talk about what you are good at. Like, what are your capabilities? And so I want you to look at everything because there's obviously you have a photography business, you
Mhm.
get booked up, you have so many clients
Mhm.
that are happy with the results. So I want you to just tell us about what are the things that you're good at, and don't be humble.
Oh gosh, I hate talking about myself. Okay, I guess I would say setting my expectations with my clients have always been a top priority of mine. And I'm really good at that because I know that at the end of the day, like knock on wood, all of my clients are always over the moon happy. So they feel like they've got their experience that they've wanted and the outcome, which is their photos, they're just madly in love with, which has just been the feedback that I've been getting recently, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm really good right now at like, as soon as I've documented a wedding, I'll go and I'll, get it all ready and prep like probably the next day for image salon. So I get that off my plate right away. So I'm really
Mm,
happy that I'm able to do that now. Because before I used to wait like at least a week or 2 weeks before I even looked at my images, which was,
good job. Yeah.
yeah, more so me just being nervous. Like, I hope I got everything. But
Mm-hmm.
um, capabilities, I would say, like during photo shoots in general, like I feel like I really allow my clients to express themselves genuinely and feel comfortable and give them that safe space.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And we're going to keep going here, but I have one quick question for you.
Hmm.
All these things here that you said you're good at and you're proud of about yourself, did you know how to do them before you did them?
I don't.
Before you got good at it, when you first started your photography career, when you first bought that camera and you're like, I want to do
Yeah.
this. Did you know how to do it?
No, I
Were
think it
you
was
scared?
all. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm still scared. Like I have a wedding
Yeah.
this Saturday and I'm like shitting myself, but
Yeah.
I think I think that will I'm kind of happy that I always am a little nervous because I always want to do a good job. But for me, when I picked up my first camera, I was like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing? Like, how do I make sure they're happy? Because that's in a way kind of like my love language. If you're happy and love what I've given you, like I'm happy, that's fulfilling for me.
Yeah. So,
So
so let's focus on it. So if
okay.
you at one point didn't know how to do all this
Hmm.
and you figured it out and you made it happen and now you're doing it confidently,
Yeah.
right? Then I'm just saying it's something to pay attention to, because with outsourcing your next thing,
Hmm.
you can get to this space where it is your capability, it is the thing that you are good at, right? So
Okay.
just wanted to throw that in there.
Cool.
Okay, and then what is your daily behavior when working on in your business? So I want you to describe it to us as if we're watching a documentary, right? It's
Cool.
being filmed and it's like, okay, I get up, I go to what is kind of like a daily behavior? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So right now it's getting up at 6:30 with my little one. And while she is kind of playing and doing her thing, I'm on my phone and I'm trying to follow up on DMs, text, emails from clients. So my day starts pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as she's down for her first nap, which is now, I'm actually in like the golden hour right now that I call her naps because she only naps like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's honestly when I try to get through like my most recent session for culling. So my goal is always to cull at least one session during her nap.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, while she's up, it's really hard for me to focus on the business. She's just very, I don't know if it's a 10-month-old thing, but she's just very demanding of the time, which I mean I enjoy anyway, so I don't mind at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it literally is like when she naps, that's when I'm able to work. That's when I'm able to focus. So that second nap that she does usually in the afternoon, that's when I'll edit the most recent session that I just called in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, my turnaround times since having Naomi has kind of like been crazy fast now because I just need to get it out. So I don't like spend like from 8 p.m. when she goes to bed till like 2 a.m. working, because I used to do that
Yeah.
when she was a baby,
Yeah.
newborn.
I
So
don't even know how you did that, because then when did you find time for yourself and for your naps?
well, and
And,
that's just it. Like I'm still struggling with that even to this day because you know, another part of the, you know, the OME checklist that I've made for myself that I really want to start kind of relinquishing control about is, you know, maybe even sending off my sessions to be
yes,
edited and culled.
because you can
Because
see like what's taking up your days, and these
yeah,
things, these two things, get
yeah,
it, like getting this called and getting this edited.
I
That
know.
means that you would not be doing those things, and you
Mm,
would have space to do other things, which, hello, could be like just literally time for Jessica, which is so important.
working out,
Yeah.
napping.
Yeah. Or,
Yeah.
doing emails. And then it's
Hmm.
like, okay, did my emails. I'm done work for
Right.
the day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a great picture you painted. Thank you.
Hmm.
And okay, so now let's focus on future Jess. Let's
Okay.
focus on um the Jess that already has 200K in revenue. I'm gonna write
Cool.
in revenue to be specific. So you see revenue. So let's focus on the Jess that has 200K in revenue and 3 full days off each week, right?
Perfect.
So I want you to, where, oh, you're still there. Okay, perfect. I want you to like close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths in. We're going to do it together. So we'll do 2 deep breaths in. And as you're taking in this deep breath, I want you to visualize that as your reality in front of you. I will take 2 more deep breaths. And every time you breathe in a new breath, you are literally breathing that into your reality and you're seeing it in front of you. Okay, so now that you've become present a little and you felt a little bit closer to that reality, I want to ask you, what does that future Jess, what identity does she have to be able to make this possible for her? So you
Ooh.
have to say like that Jess, she is
Ooh.
organized, like things like that, right? Like what
Right.
does future Jess do to have this be her reality? So tell me what comes to mind.
Um, well, definitely I have to get more organized so that I can
And instead of you
utilize my
saying I
time.
have to become,
I
you're
am.
already her.
Got you.
And I'm
Okay.
asking you, who are you already? What is your
Okay.
identity that you already have this as your reality?
Okay. I am organized so that I can utilize my time.
Mm-hmm.
I have time throughout the day to focus on my mental and physical well-being, and I
Mm-hmm.
prioritize that to be the best for Naomi and my clients.
Mm-hmm.
I don't stress the small stuff because I know that it's going to be taken care of, like culling and editing, and I could just be present.
Mm-hmm. And then give me some
Mm.
adjectives.
Descriptive words.
Yeah, I know.
Oh gosh. Okay. I wish I had like a thesaurus around here or something.
Yeah, well,
Um,
we can do like um adjectives list because I'm the same. I need like a list to like
yeah,
good old Google.
love it.
So
Ooh, what if I said not anxious?
mm-hmm. Wait, let me have the list beside here. So instead of focusing on, because we always want to have a positive spin on everything.
Okay.
So if you're saying not anxious, it's still
Mm-hmm.
you're focusing on not something. It's like it
Right.
takes more force. So
Okay.
what about calm or
Yep.
peaceful, right?
Yeah, I would say at peace,
At
peaceful.
peace. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. I'm going to keep scrolling here slowly just to give you some inspiration because this is really, really, really important
Cool.
part of the exercise.
Hmm.
And even ask yourself actually just to
Ooh,
make it maybe
energetic.
energetic, like it.
Yes.
So maybe even let me ask you this question. So
Mm-hmm.
now outside of yourself, right? If you think about a photographer made up in your mind
Mm-hmm.
that actually has that reality. So they are making 200K in revenue and have 3 full days off each week.
Mm-hmm.
What do they have to do? Who are they? Who do they have to be in order
Mm-hmm.
to make that happen for themselves? So what are some things that pop into your head with that?
Oh man.
And just to like
Um,
help like courageous,
mm-hmm.
action oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that comes into your mind with that.
Maybe um when I visualize myself being that photographer,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what adjective it is, but it's kind of like they don't have to have I don't have to have everything figured out, but I'm confident that I'm going to figure it out or I have figured it out. So I guess
Right.
confidence in myself
Yes.
is one
Confident
that,
in myself.
because right
Yes.
now like I still struggle with that even though I'm 11 years in the business. Like
No,
I
no, you need to stop saying that. If you're going to keep saying, I still struggle with that, even though I'm 11 years in the business, like when does that end? Because then in
Oh,
20 years, you're going to be saying, I still struggle with it because I'm 20.
you're
It's
right.
like,
You're right.
if you want to have confidence in yourself, you can't have confidence in yourself and also at the same time be
Talk to
struggling to
yourself like
find
that.
confidence, right?
Yeah,
So you have
yeah,
to
yeah.
pick one. So
True.
right now, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Confidence in myself. Um, and I guess like willingness to try to like get into outside of my comfort zone.
yes, willing to get out of comfort zone. This is huge. Yes, this is a
Mhm.
great one. Okay, beautiful. And so what beliefs does your future self need to have in order to get the results that you want?
Hmm. That I'm not going to be spending 24 hours in front of my computer screen or feel like guilty if I don't.
Yeah.
That,
I don't have to work 24/7, for example.
yep, yep, that I don't have to be, booked a session every night to be successful. Like I'm confident with like three, and then that's happy for me. That's a happy medium.
Yep.
um,
And wait. I see what you did
yeah.
there. Happy medium.
Mm-hmm.
That's like you're compromising. You're
Oh,
compromising what you want to please part of yourself and part of others. But
okay.
it's possible for you to please just yourself
Okay.
and please, like if you can please yourself 100%, it's possible to also please others 100%.
Interesting. I never
Yeah.
thought about it that way.
Me neither. It just came to me right now.
I love it.
I'm like, this needs to go on the podcast. I just like caught it. And it's like, yeah, like, why are you compromised? Like, why are you compromising? And I felt like, do you have some sort of guilt to say no to people that reach out to you?
All the time.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
feel
because I
that
want to
off
make
you.
everyone happy, but it's like I only have so much I can give, but I still try.
Yeah. And also raise your freaking prices because, dude, I have 5 sessions this year.
Oh my gosh. I
5.
love that.
You have how many? I don't even want to know. If you're like, I have
No,
to
you
have one
don't.
almost every night. I'm sweating. You're making me sweat with how
I'm
much you're shooting.
sweating.
Okay, just something I caught that I had to say. Okay, what other beliefs do you have to have in order to have that your reality?
Okay, so I think I have, okay, I don't know if I'm going to explain this right, so please stop me, but I feel like I will have to, or I am going to really take care of me first and foremost. So kind of to spin off what you just said so that I can give 100% to other people because my gas tank is empty most
So
of the
say it in
time.
more of like a statement, like I believe this. Like how
Yeah.
like when you really stand for something and
Mm-hmm.
you're in a conversation and someone says something, you're like, oh, I disagree. Like I believe this. Like
Mm.
what belief that's like you're really standing for something would you have to have
Okay.
around what you were saying?
That that my gas tank has to be full in order to fill others.
Yes. Amazing. What about to do with what beliefs do you have to have around outsourcing?
Ooh. Okay, if this is okay, so Jess makes 200K, is speaking to you right now. Everything is outsourced except for like obviously emails and things like that. That would be that's I'm living the dream right now if that's the case.
So what belief would you have to have in order to
Mm,
have that confidence to let go of all those tasks?
oh no. I guess I don't know if this is answering your question, but this is what's coming to mind. Like just allowing myself to let go.
So
Like
maybe something like it's easy to let go.
yes, yeah,
It's
and release
easy to
control
let
of that
go.
aspect.
And yeah, of control. It's easy to let go of control. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or would
Work
another
smart,
good
not
one?
harder.
Yeah. Like I believe in working smarter, not harder.
Yes,
Or what about the belief of somebody else can do it as well as I can?
that's true. Yep.
Can do it as well or better
High or better. Yep.
as
Highlight
I
that one
can.
for me.
Yeah. I shall.
Yes.
Okay. Amazing. And then what are your capabilities of this future self of you now? You're outsourcing, you're making
Hmm.
that money,
Hmm.
you're shooting as many sessions as you want, not
Yeah.
just trying to please, you're shooting as much as you want while having your prices increase so that you're not
Hmm.
overshooting, right? You have
Right.
3 full days off a week, like you're doing these things, you're running the business the way you want your business to be run. What are your capabilities in this area?
Okay. Capabilities.
And I want you to just
Time
focus on,
management.
yes, time management. And I want you to
Time
focus on
management.
outsourcing a lot too here.
Okay. Capabilities. So so making it kind of connect to outsourcing. Do you mean like I'm just like
What are your
sending it?
skills within
Uh,
outsourcing to be able to outsource successfully?
hmm. I guess communication, like making sure that they have kind of my vision and they're able to do that. And I've kind of like nailed it. So, because that's right now what I'm struggling with as well. So that's been fun. But
You're doing what?
Like with my
No,
editor.
see, it's so fascinating how the blind spots just stay hidden. You're saying you're struggling with that, right?
Well, just
As well.
currently, like it's new, so I don't know how to like flip it to like be like, okay, what am I doing wrong in that
The way
situation?
to flip it
Yeah.
is to, instead of saying I'm struggling with it, is to say I'm learning and I'm doing my best.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And only through taking action can I learn.
Got you.
There's no struggling. Like that means you're forever going to be struggling.
Okay.
And like that statement that you said, and it comes out of your mouth like you don't notice it, right? Because we all have that. Then that's why we need coaching, to have
Right.
people be like, hey, that's a blind spot you're not aware of, right? That's like a boulder, that's a rock in your backpack when you're climbing this mountain to like continue your business. And
got you.
like every single stage in our photography business, we're always going to be learning something new, always. And how inspiring is it to say, I'm struggling, I'm struggling, I'm struggling, I'm struggling. It's like so heavy.
It's a weight. Yeah. Yeah. I see
and
that.
so if you could just change it to being like, I'm proud, I'm learning, I'm impressed with myself because I'm actually taking action. And oh, okay, I did that wrong. Okay, for the next feedback video, I'll do it this way. Oh, boom, now I'm confident, right? You can't be confident in something without the journey of learning the lessons along the way to getting confident. Remember how you said earlier, you're like, these are my capabilities, right? Like at some point, these weren't your capabilities, but it's only because you continued to keep trying and trying and trying that you got there.
Okay.
And so the struggling is what that statement is more like. It will not inspire you to kind of keep going. It's going to just hold you back for longer.
Okay.
So yeah, just pay close attention to that. Whenever you hear yourself in your mind say, I'm struggling, give yourself a little tap on the cheek. Be like, nope,
I will.
Jess,
I will.
I do not allow you to speak to yourself that way. And you're going to be talking to yourself in your house and everyone's going to be like, is she okay now?
I think people already ask that because I do that all the time.
Okay, so your capabilities are time management, communicating feedback effectively.
Yep.
What else is, give me one more skill that like, like you've been through parts in OME and you know what is required of you to do, right?
Right.
So
yes.
what is something
Taking action like
yeah,
right away.
taking action right away. Yes.
Yes.
Instead of letting your your mind just it's so funny because eventually you're gonna have to do the thing anyway, so why wait, right?
Yeah. That's
Okay,
true.
so now I ask you this final question here. So what is your daily behavior with this identity where you have 3 full days off a week,
Yeah.
200K in revenue, not shooting as much, but shooting exactly how much you want to, no one else.
Yeah.
What is your daily, on average, it's not gonna, every day is not gonna be the same, but behavior when you're working?
Having a consistent like timeline for getting back to emails and improving, or I've improved my communication with my clients so that they feel like I'm taking the best care of them. And that could be like I'm not waiting more than 48 hours to get back to their emails. It's in a timely fashion because I'm improving on that right now.
Okay, so
currently.
maybe like batching emails, in like basically like because you want to probably you said, I'm trying to see what I wrote here. Consistent timeline. What do you mean by that? Is that more like,
so
beginning of every day I have 30 minutes, at the end of every day I have 30 minutes, and that's my focus on email. I'm not checking it any other time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because right now, like I'm waking up, what I said, at 6:30, and Naomi just woke up, so it's like, that would be it for my emails until like I don't want to be writing emails at 2 a.m. because then that's training my clients to say like, oh, I can email her at any time.
Okay, so consistent email support schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if this sounds like the right what you're looking for, but you know, there are those some sessions that I love to put my own spin on it. So a perfect day would be like, oh, I have the time to do that. Like I have the time to go in and quality review and check and just feel like I've been oh, what's that word? It's on the tip of my tongue. Productive. So
Mm-hmm.
feeling productive.
Yeah. And yeah, isn't it interesting? Because do you feel like right now, the way your day unfolds, right? You get
Hmm.
one session called an edited session, maybe some emails while maybe you're multitasking throughout the day. Does that
Yeah.
feel productive?
Some days, yes. Some days, no.
And
Especially if I
usually,
didn't.
and usually people say no
Okay.
because it's like they're always trying to catch up and it never
Yes.
ends,
Yeah.
right? What actually makes us feel productive is that we have actually spent our time in the most valuable place,
Yeah.
which is shooting and quality checking outsourced work and then our own time, right?
Right.
Because if we're like, oh my gosh, like I like this session is pretty much good to go, I hardly have to work on it,
Yeah.
then it's like that feels so productive because so much
Yes.
got done in such a short amount of time because you
Hmm.
have support in the background, right?
That's true. Yeah. That would
Yeah.
be, that's gonna be the best feeling ever when that happens.
Yeah. And so that feeling is available to you whenever, by the way, right?
I'm gonna do it. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
And I'm just going to write here consistently outsourcing
Yes.
at the end. Okay. So what I wanted to do this exercise because I think it's so important for you all to really understand that what got you here to this point in your business, in your life is great and it got you here, but it won't get you there. It won't get you to that next place you want to go to. You have to do things differently in order to get different results. And so what I love to do is I love to, get very clear on what is my identity now? Like what is where am I now? What kind of actions am I taking that are keeping me here? And then you can just imagine, and this is like the best hack ever. It's like, what does a $200,000 revenue photographer that has 3 full days off a week do? What do they do? What decisions do they consistently make? What is their identity? What do they focus on first? Um, are they focusing on, their own well-being first and outsourcing at the same time in order to get that? If you just ask that great question and answer it for yourself, what you have to do is very simple. You just have to take those actions. But of course, it doesn't feel easy because it's out of our comfort zone. We feel like we don't know what to do because we've never done it before, right? But I want you to remember that what got you to this point here in your photography business, again, you learned along the way. It felt uncomfortable. You've never done many things before, but you figured it out. And so I want you to bet on yourself. So anytime you feel kind of like stuck and being like, why am I not hitting that goal that I want, that amount of time off that I want, that revenue goal, ask yourself, what would that like identity in me be doing in order to get that? Okay. So so Jess, let me know if so I mean, thank you so much for yeah, sharing so openly, vulnerably. I know it's gonna help so many OMEs. And let me know in the chat if that helped you. And now,
Definitely did. Thank you,
awesome.
Sarah.
And hello, Naomi.
You say hello? Yeah,
And
okay.
I'm gonna go back to I haven't been seeing the chat. So okay, Eden. Okay, amazing. I'm glad you guys all got value out of that. And now I'm just gonna go into just some extra training that I really want to I want to leave you guys on like this high that will like you can just come back to in your mind. You can always come back to this recording in OME whenever you need that like extra inspo the rest of the season, because this is the last support call until after I relaunch OME again in the fall. And so, I mean, if you don't change anything now about your outsourcing workflows, like then when, right? It's now or later. But later is going to be a little bit more painful than it is now. It always is. So I do want to remind you guys that it's so important to look at your business like a machine. And ever since I started looking at it like a machine, and that I could actually kind of hit a button and start a workflow, and then it just happens and it feels like it's on autopilot, it's like the best freaking feeling. And what I used to do is I used to look at my business like a baby. I didn't want anyone to touch it. It's like, no, it's mine. It's mine. Like nobody else can do it as well as I can. Right. And it's so funny because I'm like, what ends up happening, I feel like, is if, you know, your business is like your baby and that's how you're treating it, it's dependent only on you. And that's why you end up in that cycle of like, I have to do everything myself. And, it's like that never ending cycle. So pretty much OME is kind of what helps your business grow from being a baby to a to like a machine. I don't know how to say go from baby to machine, but it helps you, like helps your business graduate from being a little baby. And so the key to doing this is consistency. So Jess, how you were already outsourcing your weddings? Like get on the sessions. If you can, if weddings like are already like bigger chunk to outsource, right? And like if you're already doing that, there's no reason why you shouldn't be outsourcing your sessions as well. And honestly, ever since I started outsourcing, I was like, I'm gonna, remove that whole barrier. Like just making decisions can be like the biggest barrier in our business. It wastes time, it wastes energy. And so instead of me deciding every single session, every single wedding, am I outsourcing this or not? Am I outsourcing this or not? No, I hit the button on the machine. It starts the process every single time I shoot. And I promise you, when you do that, that consistency, that's what's going to give you that max return on your investment. It's going to give you the maximum amount of time back. It's going to give you maximum amount of opportunity for you to raise your prices, for you to create more demand for you and your business, for you to book those clients that are willing to pay more, because there is a ton of them out there. And you can start to learn how to actually book those higher paying clients as well. So it's all interconnected. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed listening in on that coaching call with Jessica and that you had some aha moments. And if you did, I would be so freaking grateful if you choose to share this episode with a friend right now, a friend that is a photographer, that's overworked, that's burnt out, that's texting you like, oh my gosh, how much longer am I going to be in my editing cave? How much longer do I have to say no to hanging out with friends and family? I'm so tired. My neck hurts, my shoulders hurt, my back hurts, all the things, right? Please just screenshot it, text it to them, and maybe this will be their way out or their hope, right? Or you can also screenshot it and share it to your Instagram story, which will be amazing. It'll reach more photographers. More photographers will be able to see what's possible for them and have a nice shift in mindset and perspective to what's available to them in their life and business. And make sure to tag me at Sarah Monica Photo in your Instagram story so I can reshare it to my story. Also, I would love to thank you personally as well. And remember, one thing I do want to mention is your worth isn't determined by how hard you work. Let me say that again. Your worth isn't determined by how hard you work. I used to totally have that belief ingrained in me. I always thought, oh my gosh, I have to work super hard in my business and wear all the hats and have everything be literally touched by me because that is when I'm worth making money. And it's just not true. And it's so funny because we don't even, I mean, if you listen to, I forget which episode it was, but it was a recent one about how to figure out your dream hourly rate and make it happen for yourself. If you listen to that episode, you know that you actually might be making less than minimum wage working in your photography business. And that's where I found myself about 7 years ago. I was making all this revenue in my business, but then I took out my taxes, my expenses. Then I was like left with a certain amount of money. And then I was like, what? How am I making only $11 an hour in my business? Like, It's mind-boggling. But as soon as I realized my worth wasn't in me grinding so hard day after day after day, I realized my worth is in how I show up for my clients, the photos I create, the memories, and showing up as my best self. To also for myself and for my family and friends, that shifted everything for me. And I no longer made my business more important than all those other things in my life. And the thing is, you can actually have both be important, because if you care about your business and you want it to be sustainable and a well-oiled machine, you will choose to start getting help in your business because it's unsustainable. One day you're going to break. It's just not a system that works for a very long time. It will break. And so, yeah, your worth isn't determined by how hard you work. And if you're feeling overworked, again, that is just a sign, a pain point that's sharing with you. That's like, hey, something is breaking. You need to stop. Something needs to shift, right? And growth happens in stages, right? So if you want your next stage to be more time freedom and financial freedom in your life, then come on over and join me and other fellow OME students inside of Outsourcing Made Easy this round. And remember, doors are closing super soon for an entire year, and they won't be open again until the fall of 2023. You can literally dive into it right away as soon as you sign up, or you can also wait for off season to start learning. But either way, this means you'll have all of your smart workflows set up for the following year so that you experience the harmony you desire even during quote unquote busy season. And the fun thing is I actually never say busy anymore. I say I'm in harmony, because you know what? I choose the actions that take me there. And I love hearing that my OME students can also let go of the word busy. So your season next year can also look like that. And I mean, if you remember listening to Rachel Bowman's episode, she's a mom of two, and she was able to start working less and making more money only within like 10 months after joining OME. It's incredible. So that can be you next year. All you have to do is make a different decision and do something different from what you've been doing until now. So go to sarahmonica.com/freedom to sign up now and get access right away to all my step-by-step smart workflows and the OME community. If you don't do something different to change the trajectory of your life and business now, then when? When is going to be the right time? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting to feel ready? You'll never feel ready. It's always going to feel uncomfortable or scary when you're doing something new, right? In business or in life. So you're never actually going to feel ready. But if you're feeling that fear, that's a compass. That means you care. So I say now is best, because your life literally depends on it. Your time is too valuable and you can never get it back. The times that you miss with family, with friends, with yourself, you can never get it back. And it's time for you to live life to the fullest and stop settling. Let me help you get there. Let me take your hand and help you get there. So go to sarahmonica.com/freedom. I believe in you. You got this. And I'll see you on the inside. Yay! Thank you so much for hanging out with me and tuning into this episode. If you got value out of it, please feel free to message me on Instagram at Sarah Monica Photo. That's Sarah no H, Monica with a K photo, to let me know. I get so freaking energized hearing from others that what I've said has had a positive impact on their lives. Also, make sure to hit subscribe to the Shine and Thrive podcast to never miss an episode. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm sending you all the productive vibes your way so you have the best week ever.